Vibe Tribe.
One nation.
One nation.
One tribe.
My name is Immaculate Irongo, the Secretary General of Vibe Tribe. Fellow members of the Vibe Tribe, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, and fellow Kenyans, good evening.
Good evening.
It is with deep humility and purpose that I stand before you today, not just as your Secretary General, but as a voice for millions of Kenyans whose cries often go unheard. Today, we speak not in whispers, but in truth, for our nation is suffering and we cannot afford to be silent. We are a nation of strength and resilience, but also burdened by painful realities that are holding us back. We are suffering from high costs of living and utility bills. The prices of unga, fuel, electricity, water have skyrocketed. The average mwananchi cannot afford basic necessities. How can parents feed their children when a loaf of bread competes with school fees? Kenyans are being taxed beyond their ability, yet salaries remain stagnant. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to grow wider. Youth unemployment and layoffs. We are witnessing a generation of educated, talented, and determined youths left idle, hopeless, and angry. Degrees are now gathering dust as companies downsize due to a slow economy. The dream of a better future is turning into a nightmare for many households. Healthcare crisis. Hospitals lack medicines, health workers are overworked and underpaid, lives are being lost not due to lack of knowledge but due to poor management and broken systems. We are facing insecurity and crime as poverty deepens. Families are losing loved ones to insecurity and youths are increasingly turning to crime and substance abuse, not by choice but by desperation. They are being depressed. They are using drugs of all kinds. Alcoholism is at a high rate. We are facing educational challenges. Our children are being overcrowded in classrooms. CBC is very confusing because we don't have enough resources. Education should empower, not exhaust families. Many families are facing evictions, demolitions, and inaccessible landlords continue to rob Kenyans of their dignity, and affordable housing is far-fetched dreams for millions. We are facing deforestation, pollution, and climate changes and threatening our livelihoods, especially for farmers and informal workers, yet environmental protection rarely makes it to the top of national priorities. Corruption remains the cancer in our institutions. From inflated tenders to ghost workers, public resources are looted while wananchi go to bed hungry. We must call for accountability, transparency, and leadership that serves, not exploits the people. Kenyans are tired of empty rhetoric and unending political battles. We need policies, not politics. We need peace, justice, and leaders who lead with vision and not vengeance. Behind every struggle is a silent battle. Depression, anxiety, and addiction. These are hidden pandemics of our time. It is time we prioritize mental health and break the stigma before we lose our generation. We, the Vibe Tribe, will not be passive observers. We will engage, advocate, and educate. We will demand accountability from our leaders. We will empower the youth through programs, training, and awareness. We will stand for the voices of the voiceless and support community-driven solutions. And above all, we will remind all our governments that the power belongs to the people. This is not just a speech, this is a wake-up call. Kenya cannot rise while the people have fallen. It is time to reclaim our dignity, demand fairness, and fight for our nation where every mwananchi counts. Today, together, we are not just a tribe, we are the Vibe Tribe, and our vibe is one: justice, hope, and a better tomorrow. Asanteni sana, Mungu bariki Kenya.
Thank you.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation,
one nation.
one tribe.
Thank you to the members of Fourth Estate. My name is Nyanjem Joshua, a national coordinator at Vibe Tribe. Today, I stand before you to represent the voice of the voiceless Wanjiku who have been oppressed by this state. In the last 6 months, this government, the Broad-Based Brothers, signed an MOU, and one of the things that they entailed in the MOU was that those people who were maimed, who died in the last protest, that's June 25th, that they were going to be compensated. The family who lost their loved one, the family who lost the people that they really the people that they loved in their family, they were promised by the broad-based government that they are going to compensate them. They also told us that they are going to stop police brutality. But today, it's almost 6 months down the line. The same things that they signed in the MOU are still continuing in our country. Only in last week, we saw one Raila Amolo Odinga now telling us that it's high time we have a talk. I want to ask Raila that the same things that you said and you promised that the current government, the Kenya Kwanza government, will implement have not yet been done. And today you are calling us young people for talks. Yet, Wanjiku doesn't eat talk. Dialogue cannot pay rents in this nation. Dialogue cannot pay school fees for the young people in this nation. We have had a lot of talks in this nation. In 2018, we had an handshake. The only thing that handshake gave birth to was BBI, which a lot of money was used, billions of money were used in BBI. Yet, there is nothing that was discussed about common Mwananchi. That's Wanjiku. Every day when you raise talks, I can tell you for sure, my honorable Raila, there is no talk that you have brought in this country that has healed a common Mwananchi. Every day when you bring talks, it's always about position. We had NADCO report. The only thing that was clear from NADCO report was position of political class. Where is the common Mwananchi? Us as Vibe Tribes, we are challenging you that we don't need talks, we need justice to those people who died. Our youths were killed, they were maimed in the street. Other than protecting the youths, you decided to dine with the oppressor. Now, you came and gave us you came with the broad-based government and said you are giving us expert. The same expert you gave us in treasury. Today, he gazetted on 28th Kenyan Gazette that now he is going to import 500 metric tons of rice. Yet our farmers, our mothers, their rice are rotting through aflatoxin in the galleries. Where were you when the CS was signing that document? Yet you are claiming that you have solution to this country. As you are telling you as Vibe Tribe, we are not going to sit down or sit behind where the country is sinking. I want to tell Kenyans that we made a huge mistake. The people that we elected as so gluttonous, these people, the only thing they know is to steal from the poor. They have auction everywhere. Kenya Pipeline now is gone. They have auctioned it. Imagine us exposing the only secrets that we have in Kenya Pipeline to foreign countries. What's the fate of this nation? Yet you're claiming that it's now right time for us young people to come and sit down to talk. Talk about what? The problem of this nation is the political class. Why can't you address this issue as a political class? Because the only thing that Wanjiku needs is the system that works. Mr. Raila, we are telling you, it's high time you tell your brother that the only thing that the young people needs, it's justice. Justice for our youths who are killed in the street. Justice for people who are abducted. Until now, there's some people who are still missing. Yet you're telling us that we need to have dialogue. Dialogue, yet the police brutality is still there. Actually, really, do we need to have dialogue for us to end corruption? Do we really need to have dialogue for us to pay teachers? This nonsense should stop in this nation. Lastly, when I finish, I want to tell you, Mr. President, that us as young people, the only grievance that you have with you is that the system is not working. Everybody is corrupt. The only thing that can pay bills to the young people is corruption. Us as Vibe Tribes, what we stand for, we need the system that works in this nation. Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
One nation,
One tribe.
Vibe Tribe,
One nation.
One Nation,
One tribe.
Fellow Kenyans, my name is Ashley Kerubo Nyakundi, a national coordinator of the Vibe Tribe team. Today I speak not as a politician, but as a one of the Gen Zs, tired of recycled lies, tired of dialogues, tired of leadership and profits while people suffer. Once again, we are in the game notice, a cleverly rebounded intergenerational conclave, but we know what it is, another handshake, scheme dressed in national unity, designed to benefit a few and left the rest behind. Let's be real, every time Kenyans cry out, someone steps in not to fix the problem, but to hijack the pain of the personal gain. The cycle repeats itself. Dialogue, silence, and politics once again. The back of corruption, unemployment, and injustice. There we say we lack experience, but if we experience meaning running the Kenyans into debt, tribalism, and shame. 2027 is not about names, it's about generation. A cheers between the past and the future. We reject fake dialogues, we reject staged unity. We want real change. The lady, one tribe, one nation. Vibe Tribe.
One nation.
All right, thank you very much. Fellow Kenyans, my name is Anthony Karumba. Of course, we have said time and time again that Kenya is not a poor nation. Kenya, in fact, it should be one of the leading economies in Africa, because Kenya is very gifted by God, very creative young people, very prolific land, and very diligent farmers, business people. And the people of Kenya, they know what they want and they know the destiny that they want. However, the problem that is ailing our nation, it is because of the leadership, the bad governance. There we must agree that Kenya is not short of anything except good governance. That is the only thing that is ailing and pushing us behind. I want to tell you, good people, they say that a heap of lions led by a sheep will always be defeated by a heap of sheep led by a lion. It is very unfortunate that as Kenyans we are diligent. It comes to studies, young people have gone to school, they perform well, they do everything well, but unfortunately our effort is sabotaged by a few individuals that we have sent to the offices. It's very sad. It's quite very discouraging. And I want to tell you, good people of Kenya, we have talked and talked and talked and talked, but talks will not help us if we don't bring a solution. If we are not part of the solution, then the problem we are facing as a nation will become part of the problem. Now it's about time. I have seen many of these leaders, after we went to the streets right from 2024, they dissolved the cabinet, it's true. And they brought in broad-based government. They told us the broad-based government was meant for inclusivity and unity of Kenyans and peace. But now, 1 year down the line, look at this broad-based government. What has it brought to the people? The questions the young people came with frustrations in all the streets, cities,